like about living in Silverton is the closeness of the community. There is something that comes with living with so few people in such an isolated, remote place, especially during the winter, that kind of causes all these other boundaries to dissolve. And at the end of the day, I feel like all of my neighbors and community members are Silvertonians, and we take care of each other up here.
You know, we live in the mountains, we are at the headwaters, but we don't actually have rights to a lot of this water. So finding redundancy for water is really key as well. While we think we have all this abundance, we don't actually have the abundance that we think we do.
A wastewater treatment facility is one of the most essential roles in a community. It helps pull the gross stuff away from our homes. It treats that gross stuff in a way that it can be put back into the waterway. So in this case, it's the Animas River. And then that wastewater treatment facility, as it cleans wastewater and puts it back into the river, it makes it easier for the folks who are downstream of Silverton to be able to pull that water out of the river to treat for drinking water.
So it really affects the community when it's not working correctly. When it's working right, and no one thinks about it.
Silverton currently has a great deal of wastewater challenges. We have an aged out plant, which means that it had a design life of 25 years. It was installed in 1992. So in 2017, we started having problems as if on cue. The first lagoon is where most of our treatment takes place. Because of our declining wastewater treatment, a couple of years ago, we installed an aeration system here in addition to our original aeration system. Now the aeration is suspended off of those buoys to keep it off of the sludge layer, which has been accumulating for 25 years or more, almost 30 years. So that helps reduce odor. But this was an out-of-pocket expense by the town of Silverton in order to keep us in compliance.
The lagoon is unsustainable as it is now because the codes will change over the next coming years, and our current system will no longer be able to meet those codes.
The regulatory agencies, the State Health Department, and in lieu of the EPA, will begin to institute fines. And eventually, they will require us to upgrade our wastewater treatment facility to meet regulations.
So far, Colorado has not fined the town for any of their discharge violations, but they could do so at the rate of up to $10,000 per day per violation.
And in particular, we have a large shift in seasonality. So in the winter, our population is quite low, and it's my understanding that the treatment plant can withstand those levels. But in the summer, we get a large influx of tourists, which is great, sustains our economy, but has a heavy influence on what our wastewater treatment plant has to process. And so that actually puts a serious strain on that bit of infrastructure, which is really vital to our community.
At this time, the way to address the Silverton's current wastewater treatment challenges is to install a replacement facility, and that would probably be a mechanical treatment plant. We're not that far down the line. You can get by with the lagoon system with additional treatments, but we think at this time that Silverton's answer is to replace the facility.
Without having this access to new improvements and a wastewater treatment plant that can really serve our community, we're almost stuck in where we are right now. So we won't have the ability to grow, to develop, to create year-round economy, to bring in new housing, to support our current workforce. And it really puts us in a position where we can't move forward in our future and our goals without moving forward in this direction as well.
The Community Solutions Team is a pilot program that was funded by the Environmental Protection Agency in order to see how technical assistance centers like mine would be able to help communities get to a point where they could apply for state revolving loan funds. And so with the bipartisan infrastructure law that came down, a lot of funding is going to be coming for wastewater and water infrastructure improvements. So this pilot was a way to figure out how we could engage with communities before that funding came down. When the funding becomes available, then technical assistance centers like mine and other organizations that are helping communities would understand how to access that, or how to help communities access that.
The truth is, freshwater systems are incredibly vital to ecosystems and the communities that depend on them. If we impact these systems, particularly as a headwaters town, we're not only degrading our systems, but the systems that rely on them further downstream. So Durango, Farmington, all the way into the Colorado River system. So it's very important for us as a local community, but also to think we're responsible for the greater watershed as a whole.
I think the best word that I can come up with to describe my hope for Silverton in the future is health. I think the idea of physical health, environmental health, relationship health, healthy choices, healthy intentions and decisions. And so I think my hope for the future of Silverton is that we keep our community in mind, and we keep each other in mind, and we move forward towards making it a healthy place to live.
And there is just this beautiful sense of connection that you have with your neighbors out here. And I think that's what keeps me in Silverton, is that it's an opportunity to care for other people and truly practice community.
I'm very hopeful for the future, and that's the reason that my family decided to move and live here. And my wife works at the school as a math and science teacher. I work here as a scientist, and we have a little girl. And I'm just excited to see her play around in these mountains and make friends. It's amazing.